19th of February. There's 8 days, and there's a lot of interest going on, a lot of interest. Speaking of interest, ODM politics, Waziri. Is ODM on its deathbed?
Jeff, let me make this very clear, that after the death of Raila, I don't think anyone expected that it would be smooth sailing. There had to be turbulence. So what ODM is going through is turbulent times. But the ODM being on its deathbed, this has been said of ODM so many times. This is not the first time. I have heard ODM being on its deathbed from the time the Pentagon members left, the time Ababu left, the time, so many people have been putting ODM on deathbed, but ODM has always come out very strong, and it remains the strongest party in this country, which has outlived all the other political parties, including Mama na Baba, the Independence Party. ODM has the second largest membership in both houses of parliament, and even in the Council of Governors, and only compared to UD. And remember, almost after elections, the parties that form the government come out like they're the biggest party. But again, ODM then overtakes them in the next election. So I'm not wishing any bad luck to UDA because they are now our partners and we are working together. But ODM will outlive any other political party in this country. And I will tell you that ODM has just won 3 critical parliamentary seats. After the death of Baba, we won the seat at the coast, remember?
Yes. Magarini.
Magarini, my friend, won Kombe, won overwhelmingly. In fact, beyond, actually, the person who followed him got less than 50% of his votes. Yet, in the last general election, he won with about 46 votes against the same candidate, who decided now to decamp from UDA and go to DCP. And because of the wrong choice of the party, it was disaster. Now, you come to Kasipul, again, it was an overwhelming win for our candidates as members of ODM. And Jeff, I'm still a member of ODM.
You're 100% there.
And I'm 100% there. And then Ugunja the same. So this is not a party that you are saying is dying anytime soon. This is a very resilient party, very strong. And I will tell you, in 2027, what ODM needs is just stability. And people who really believes and knows where we want to go to. And who are honest about the future of the party. Not these talks about we have to field a presidential candidate. You know, a presidential candidate cannot be amorphous. Someone must come up. So if you want to be a presidential candidate, come forward and tell us, I'm a member of ODM number such and such, life member, I want to be a presidential candidate. I will consider you. Yeah. I will think about you. But this amorphous talk that, oh, ODM is the biggest party, we must form the government, those are rhetorics. We need real politics, hard politics on the ground, Jeff. Some of us are used to hard politics,
correct,
real ones.
Correct.
Not theoretical, not book politics.
Kwa ground.
Not academic politics.
Kwa ground.
Ground.
Mambo ni tofauti.
Completely.
Tell me something. Is ODM stable under Oburu Odinga?
Let me tell you, I think ODM could not have gotten a better choice than Oburu Odinga. And Oburu will never be Raila. He's not Raila. Raila had built his stature over the years. From the time he was in prison for so many years, to the time he went to exile, he came back. He has been in the trenches and suffered and braced the tear gas and all that. And has won election many times, denied the win. And Raila Odinga had a way of communicating here, traverse this country. That's not Oburu. Oburu has taken a different route. He has been in politics almost as long as Raila has been. He's Raila's elder brother. But I will tell you, Oburu is a very stabilizing factor. When you see Oburu now get worked up, you must know that things have really gone to his nerves. Oburu, first, one thing that you need to know with Oburu is a very sharp and intelligent mind. Very keen listener. And by the way, Raila used to rely a lot on Oburu's advice. Those of us who have been close to Raila, we know that. And even this broad-based government that we have today, it was negotiated by Oburu. Oburu was the chairman of it. He was leading the team that Raila tasked with the responsibility.
That's why he wants to stay in it through 2027.
Because he knew he made the right decision by advising Raila that they should be there in the broad-based government. And he knows why Raila chose to go into the broad-based government. So he probably understands this better than many of us. And so I know that Oburu is a character that can steer the party.
At 82.
But there are people who have steered this party. Raila was steering the party and he turned 81. So what's the difference? It's 1.5 years. And we expected Raila to steer it. In fact, no one expected Raila to die. So Raila could have steered this party to 2027 and even beyond.
When are you all going to hand over to the next generation?
That handover will come, Jeff. You can't force handover. You know, let me tell you, leadership is not something that you just wake up and announce yourself, that now it's not Baba, it is Mbadi. It doesn't work that way. Leadership comes, and it comes pole-pole. And I will tell you, when the time comes, you can't resist it. When Jaramogi died, there were so many characters. There were so many people. There were so many experienced politicians. Yeah. I remember that time, Jeff, when Raila died. Well, Paul Mwite and Gitopo Imanyara had just technically left the party. But we had Wamalwa Kijana, we had Ouma Moga, we had Raila Odinga, we had James Orengo, we had Anyang' Nyong'o, we had Mukisa Kitui. You can name it. There were so many people. Well, they were young, but fairly experienced. And by the way, Raila was not even ranking top if you look at the composition of people who were in Fort Kenya. But yes, the acting party leader was was pronounced immediately. That was Jana Wamalwa.
Yes.
But later, his deputy was Orengo. And those of us who believed that Raila would lead us better, we prompted Raila, and Raila ended up not leading Fort Kenya, but formed his party, NDP. And those of us who had like minds joined him, and NDP defeated Fort Kenya in the 1997 election. I came number 3 after Kibaki and President Moi.
Do you see history?
So that's how Raila became the leader of the party and of a bigger constituency. Today it is Oburu. I don't know for how long he will lead the party. Ni Mungu ndiye anajua. In fact, there are people who think because he's too old, he will leave it for a short time. God knows when the time we have in this world. I remember, Jeff, there was one time in 2002, one parliamentary candidate said in a funeral that the MP, the outgoing MP then, who was unwell, was going to die, so there was no need of voting for him. The gentleman did not see the election. That was 2002. And the guy he said would die is today still alive. 2026.
Yes.
24 years later, and it's still very strong, I will tell you. So, you know, who is going to die when is God's prerogative. Yeah. Now, Oburu will lead this party, during which time another leader, a younger leader, will emerge. And that younger leader will not just emerge in a day. Even Raila, by the way, did not take over from immediately after the death of the father. It took him about 2 years plus. From 1994, January, when Jaramogi died, to 1996, December. And even after that, it was not proved until the general election of 1997 that Raila had taken over a huge chunk of the Jaramogi followers.
What do you think?
So it will take some time.
What do you think of Winnie?
What do I think of Winnie? She's Raila's daughter.
That's it?
Yeah.
Can she take over ODM one day?
Does she want to take over ODM? You know, leadership is not something that you force on someone. If I don't want to take over leadership or I don't want to be in leadership, you can't force me. Winnie is a young, strong-willed girl. And right now she's an MP, East African Legislative Assembly. She can build herself, depending on how she plays her politics, and get either back to the local scene, maybe win a parliamentary seat or win a gubernatorial, or whichever seat she's interested in. I've never shared with her. Then later on, she can be somebody big. You don't have to lead ODM. You can be somewhere in the party. I've led ODM as a chairman of the party, not as a party leader. She could come in as an official of the party.
And work her way up.
And if members agree, then she will be there.
Look, with Sifuna's exit, do you see the floodgates opening for desertion, if you will?
You know, sometimes, Jeff, when people are still causing some disquiet in the party and all that, they seem to be having massive and huge following. But the moment they leave, you may not find or see much exodus. But again, we are in a democratic society. Some people may follow and fall out. That's normal, that's accepted. What I would advocate for as a strong member of the party is that we must have discipline in the party and focus. So that even if we are few, then we should know how many we are, as opposed to having a bus of so many people who are working at cross purposes and therefore not adding much value. When Ababu left or was about to leave ODM, we were told Ababu had a huge, massive following, and that if he left, he would leave with so many people. Do you know what happened to Ababu? He ended up losing Budalangi parliamentary seat to Wanjala. Cool. So I don't know the fate of these politicians. Let them be courageous enough and operate outside ODM, and we see.
But you know what? Baba, the late Baba, was like a godfather to Edwin Sifuna. He always protected him at every turn.
He protected many of us. He was a godfather of many of us. Jeff, I don't know, maybe it's not something I would say, but I know how Baba almost felt about each one of us.
You do know?
I know. If there's one person I understood very well is Raila Odinga. By the way, of all the senior officials of ODM, no one stayed longer with Raila than me.
Come on.
Yeah, from the time I was a student, 1992, to the time he departed, I was very close to him. I know many people will say they have been close to Raila. Yeah. Many of us have been.
Everyone says that.
But I will tell you, in terms of party leadership and party management, allowing me to chair his party for 11 years and as a party leader is not a mean achievement, a mean feat. And during that time, there's a lot that we shared. And I will tell you, I understand Raila very well. That's why when he told me to not to run for gubernatorial seat, I could accept. Many people would have not done that. Yeah. Many people would have gone independent. But I didn't. Because I know, Jeff, that if you are there are positions that if you are holding, or if you hold, then you have a responsibility bigger than self-interest. You may not like it. I didn't like it. Everybody knows that I didn't like the decision that Baba made to ask me to drop out of the gubernatorial race. I actually wanted him to allow us to go to the nomination, and if I lost, I would graciously support the winner. Yeah. But you see, I was a chairman of the party, the chairman of the party, with a huge responsibility. So I had to put aside my personal interests and go for the wider interests of the party. That is what I expected Sifuna to do. SG of a party is not a small position. You are not one of the secretaries in the county or at the branches. You are the Secretary General of the party.
Are you disappointed in Sifuna, the outcome of
very disappointed.
Where he was heading?
Very disappointed. Let me tell you, I know how Sifuna got into that position. Yes, he was actually not the favorite.
Come on.
He wasn't.
Who was?
We sat with Baba and agreed.
Who was the favorite?
He wasn't the favorite. The favorite was, now I'm forgetting this gentleman's name, but I will tell you. He is also a lawyer. He's a very controversial guy. Yeah. I'm just forgetting his name. How could I forget this?
How can you forget?
But I will tell you another time. That was a favorite. And you ask Nabina Buera. They made noise when we made... the Western delegates didn't want to hear of Sifuna at Orange House. What? Where National Governing Council was meeting to put him as SG. But Bad thought through and said, we need someone who is a very, very strong... Wafula Buke. That's the guy I was looking.
Yes, Wafula.
Yes. So let me tell you, my friend Jeff, we wanted Sifuna to be Secretary General. We had, that time he was even younger. Today he's a bit moderated. You remember even how he took over the position. He actually, when he was taking over this position, it was a coup, kind of.
Like a coup, yes.
And he said, Babu Namama is saying he has been given an unloaded gun. He should load it. I will load the gun myself. And went and almost literally kidnapped the party headquarters. But we told him to relax. And we saw someone with enthusiasm who could run the party. But when it started, we saw some kind of challenges. And we sat down with him and told him, my friend, now you are the Secretary General of the party. You shouldn't contradict. There was a time he contradicted me twice or thrice. And of course, I was communicating decision from the party leadership. And he contradicted me about twice or thrice, and Baba reprimanded him quietly in our meetings. And then he relaxed. Later we found a formula we could work. I understood him also, that he was a young man coming with a lot of energy. But now I expected him to now have outgrown all these other whatever, and became a Secretary General who would be humble enough to accept that there are things that you can say in rallies and things that you can say in the boardroom. There are a lot of things we disagreed a lot in that party, even sometimes telling Baba that we don't agree with you on this. And by the way, we changed Baba's opinion on a number of things in the party. Contrary to what people thought, that Raila Odinga was a dictator, he wasn't. Actually, if there was any leader who was very consultative when it comes to managing party affairs, it was Raila Odinga. But once we agreed that this is the direction we are taking, and a lot of those decisions, some of them were very unpopular at the beginning. But as we moved on, people saw the sense and the need. So if party has taken a position, in my view, even if you feel it is a wrong one, either you support the position of the party or then you exit. So I am fairly disappointed, because I thought, as the longest serving chairman of the party, we were leaving a party that was cohesive enough that even in the absence of Baba, we would still have the party running smoothly.
It seems like you're disappointed in the young Turks, you know, the Babu Owinos, the Winnie Odingas, these Edwin Sifunas. You know, those are the young Turks. That's the future of the party.
No, I'm not disappointed with the young people. There are so many young people in the party as well. That party, by the way, doesn't just have those names. We have even the youth league in the party, and they're doing a fantastic job. I don't see, well, I may disagree with some sentiments, but what I don't agree with is showing disrespect to the party. And as I say, Jeff, not that we agreed with all the decisions of Raila Odinga as a party leader, but once a party leader, and the constitution of the party is clear, once a party leader communicates, especially in cases of forming alliances, that responsibility rests with the party leadership, the party leader. Then you need to show some decorum and respect. When you come here and start questioning how Oburu Odinga was made party leader, and you know that the processes have been followed. Because when the party leader passes on, or any party official, the way to replace that is through NEC. And then NEC proposes to National Governing Council. Then National Governing to NDC. And ODM, in filling the position of Baba, took the matter to NEC immediately. And NEC resolved. And most of the membership of NEC, the attendance was overwhelming. Then it went to National Governing Council at the coast, and they ratified. So they were waiting now for NDC to endorse that decision. And then you are questioning. So what did you expect the party to do? And you are the Secretary General of the party. The other disappointment that I had is where he collects people who have basically left the party, technically. One was named the other day as a Secretary General of Azimio. We all know where we stand with Azimio. The Azimio that is remaining, or the Azimio they were talking about, I may say, is Azimio which is now controlled by Kalonzo Musyoka. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua, who has never been part of Azimio, is also there. Uhuru Kenyatta, and all these people, we are not aligned with them as a party. Or at least Baba left when he was not aligned with them. And it was not a secret. I hear people saying, Baba didn't say this, Baba said this. But at least I know, because it is public, that Baba had an arrangement with William Ruto to work in broad-based government up to 2027. That is not in dispute. And he chose it himself. And we ratified as a party. Now, when you collect these people, you bring in Onyonka, who is talking about Matiang'i being president, and is not part of us. Matiang'i has never been part of us. He doesn't share any ideology with us. I've heard them say that Ruto and the UDA is not sharing any ideology. Ruto was the deputy party leader of ODM. At least he shared ideology with us. Matiang'i has never been with us. He has never shared anything with us. And Kibagendi, all over the place with him, Sifuna. And what they were saying was to attack the party leader and the party leadership. If that is the young Turks, and then you find one of the young Turks called some of us Shenzi. You know, Jeff, I put it this way. I may be Shenzi, but I'm not a drug addict. That at least I know. Asubuhi, I don't smoke bangi. Mchana, I don't smoke bangi. Jioni, I don't smoke bangi. So you call me Shenzi. That my Shenzi has not taken me to smoking, to taking drugs, which would destroy you and your thinking as a leader. So we all have weaknesses. I may be shensi, but you are also a drug addict, and we know it.
Tell me something. Were you part of the delegation that went to India to bring back Baba's body?
No, I was in the U.S. By the way, Jeff, Baba passed on when I went for the spring meeting of the World Bank and IMF.
And you couldn't leave it?
Immediately I heard that Baba died, I had to take the next flight. In fact, I heard in the morning, which was now almost daytime here, and left in the evening, which was night here.
Yes.
And came in straight to Nairobi because I couldn't catch up with them in India. And I arrived here in the morning.
When was the last time you had spoken to Baba before he passed?
I spoke to Baba about 2 weeks before he passed on, but unfortunately, Baba really looked for me over that weekend. There was something that I was working on for him, and he looked for me over that weekend. Only managed to get my wife twice. He couldn't get me because I think he was trying to reach me on WhatsApp. People who know me know my troubles with WhatsApp. So I was in the village, then I was told he was looking for me. I tried to call him, he didn't pick. Then again, he was looking for me again through my wife's phone, and then didn't find me. My wife was in Nairobi, I was in the village. When I came back, I tried to call him again, I didn't find him. So we spoke about 2 weeks before, 1.5 weeks before he died.
Listen, there's a question real quick. Someone is asking, is the Kenya Meat Commission, KMC, any plans to privatize that?
We can't announce the state-owned enterprises that we are intending to privatize until we make that decision, because that would affect.
I'll take that as a yes.
No, Jeff, you are putting a yes on my mouth. I mean, you know, Jeff, that is not right. You are a dictator.
Naimambo, your broad base.
Yes.
You guys are really determined to stick to it, aren't you?
Is there another viable option? You see, Jeff, the truth is that no political party can now win power in this country without forming alliances. In forming alliances, you must look at the partners and align yourself and think of how to align yourself with them. Now, if you look at the landscape today, we have just two main blocks. There is this broad-based side, and of course we have the opposition side, if you may, hoping they will hold to election. Baba decided to start this broad-based government. Now, we are in there, and we are doing our best in there, including myself, in terms of executing my mandate. But then you look at the other side, the people, the person we have worked with the other side is Kalonzo. And we have also worked with Matiang'i in the last election, of course, with a lot of disappointments in my view. If you ask me, another time I will talk about it.
Yes.
So now, but you see, you can have very delicious meal, but if someone comes and pours urine in it, you can't eat it. Yeah? Even if you have fish.
Who pissed on your food?
Now you have Gachagua there, and then how do you join that team? Gachagua, whose mind is fixed in one region. Yeah? One region. He's just thinking one region, from morning to evening to night to every other day. And we are a country of different regions. We are a country of multiple ethnic groups. We are a country that has lived the way we are, with all our challenges, harmoniously. A country that has come out of very tough times. So, with the presence of such a figure, in that arrangement, it becomes very difficult, even to think of working with that grouping.
Waziri, great answers. Thank you so much for your time. Before we let you go, there's a lot of feedback coming in on Twitter and on SMS, coming in thick and fast. Ayub?
Yeah, plenty.
You want to take it away?
Yes, many in form of questions, observation.
Questions and SMS, right?
Yeah. What do you want Kenyans to do regarding the KPC IPO?
KPC IPO is available for Kenyans. We want as many Kenyans as possible to invest in KPC. That is what we call sharing of wealth. We want the wealth of KPC to be shared by Kenyans. Remember the other day Kenyans were asking us, why haven't we put Safaricom for everybody to buy? Now we have put KPC. Let them buy.
Okay, next is from Jakipto, says, please ask CS Mbadi, on behalf of government to give us and our leader Sifuna assurances that our Sunday gathering in Kitengela will be peaceful and goons-free. We are traveling from as far as Suba district to support Sifuna, Babu and others.
First of all, it doesn't come from Suba district. There is no district called Suba. I think because he thinks I'm a Suba, he wants to demonstrate that there are some Subas who will go for this rally. Anyway, it is a democratic society. I don't expect any problem. But they were in Busia the other day. I don't know whether there were goons there.
On Sunday.
But I can't guarantee that because I'm not in charge of security of the country.
Okay.
So they need just to inform the police station around, not to seek for permission, because now that is not a requirement in law.
Yeah.
They have to inform, write a letter to the nearest police station.
Tyson Lusimba says, CS, beyond announcing IPOs, what's your strategy to rebuild investor trust after past listings that disappointed the market, specifically on pricing, disclosure, and post-listing performance? And how will you protect retail investors from being used as exit liquidity for insiders?
You see, that is why the communication on this IPO has been very, very solid and sound. And you can see the public participation that has been involved. I think many people understand this IPO more than any other IPO, in my judgment. But again, already what we are seeing, we are not likely to have this disappointment, because already we are getting oversubscription in many classes of the share. So it's just an appeal to Kenyans so that we broaden the ownership in KPC.
Okay, Andati says, ask Mbadi how a Kenyan earning 100,000 Kenya shillings gross salary due to his experience ends home with 60,000 Kenya shillings after deductions, can't even access good health, good education for the kids. Almost 40% goes to deductions. Do we work for the government?
By the way, taxation is a noble cause in any jurisdiction. And I will tell you there are some countries with even higher taxes. But I know where we have reached as a country that we need to do something about taxes. If you look at my proposal of exempting 30,000 to pay zero tax, up to 50,000 now, then additional 20,000 pays 25%, and then we go to 30%. You'll realize that 100,000, they are going to benefit quite significant gain out of this if you do the math. And the
lazima tulipe ushuru.
But lazima tulipe ushuru. You know, again, in terms, you know, is mixing the question. There is the question of taxation, which is a moral obligation, but there is also the question of the government having a moral obligation to protect the taxpayers' money. And these are two that have to be dealt with separately but collectively.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's next?
Okay.
Okelo Mwalimu. Is CS Mbadi aware that teachers and other exam officers haven't been paid for the work done last year? If so, what is the Treasury doing to settle this? Secondly, can he rate his performance on a scale of 1 to 10?
You know, in terms of that specific payment to teachers and other exam officers who have not been paid, I think that the Ministry of Education are able to deal with that. In my view, I think by now they should be paid. We are in February. I'm sure I will take that feedback to my colleague and counterpart. If there is any, because I think that was already budgeted for, so it doesn't have to come from the Treasury. But if there is any shortfall, then we'll discuss it at the government level. Now, in terms of my rating, it is difficult to rate myself. But by the way, let me tell you, I don't think I need to rate myself. Even external people have rated me. When they rate the economy to be doing better and improving, that's a rating on me also, as the CS National Treasury. So let him go to Moody's and get the rating. I don't have to put this 1 to 10. These are very subjective things.
Okay.
Kenyans know what I've done.
What's that?
And my appointing authority also knows what I've done.
Your appointing authority.
Yes.
What's the expected growth rate this year?
5.3%.
5.3.
Yeah, up from average of about 5%. Yes.
Okay.
Next.
Moxio says, ask Mr. Mbadi, does the government plan on reducing the pay as you earn for top earners?
Not really. We are not thinking of top earners. We are dealing with the people who are struggling at this base. You know, let me tell you, Jeff, if you're earning 500,000, you have already met all the basics. That's the truth. The rest of the money you will be earning to save and invest, which is also good. But we go for those who are surviving first. Yeah. Let's go to the junior people who are earning peanuts, 30,000, 50,000. Deal with that. Those who are, or those of us who are earning 1 million should even pay more. Yes.
How much do you earn?
I earn 957,000.
After taxes?
Before.
That's your net?
That is gross salary.
Gross. What's your net?
And there is no allowances. My net comes about 600,000 or 500 and something.
Okay.
Goodness.
Bob Ndolo says, I would like to ask the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Mbadi, how he feels when members of ODM who chair the County Public Accounts Committee are mentioned as extortionists within the Senate Oversight Committee. Does he agree with his boss, the President, who last year during the devolution conference in Homa Bay County spoke openly about some parliamentarians demanding bribes from the executive?
You know, I've listened to that story and it is disheartening. I just hope it is not correct. If it is true, it is very unfortunate. You know, Public Accounts Committee, and I chaired Public Accounts Committee, is the watchdog. And this is not the first time we have had this kind of accusation. Remember, in the National Assembly, chaired by Ababu Namwamba, Public Accounts, and I was a member of that committee. All the members were removed except about 2 of us who were not mentioned. The rest who were mentioned were removed from the committee. It was a very sad thing. But you see, this is the watchdog, the one committee that is the longest in history of this country, Public Accounts Committee. And if it can be mentioned adversely, it is very unfortunate. But I will tell you that extortion is not, this accusation on extortion is not new. And I think Parliament needs to do some self-reflection and just ask themselves, do we have some bad people among us? There may be very few, but they need to be smoked out. And it's unfortunate that the names that were mentioned, largely some ODM members. I just hope it is not correct. But you see, some of these people, they come out and harass witnesses very, very badly, very, very strongly, when their intention is totally different. That is unfortunate. Yeah. I remember a time, my former Secretary General, immediate former Secretary General, almost tried to embarrass me in a parliamentary for nothing. I was just asked to explain. And then he starts shouting. You know, parliamentary procedures, by the way, I never shouted to any accounting officer, any witness. You are not supposed to shout. You are not supposed to abuse a witness. You are supposed to ask your question with decorum. That is what the standing order says. But when you see some of these people coming to shout at you, some even walking out, like what Honorable Nyonka did, then the intention is different. Yeah, there's something else that they want. Either it is politics, or they are trying to scare you to be susceptible and intimidate you and get you to other things. Yeah. That's very unfortunate, and I hope the Senate will deal with this. Unfortunately, they have also mentioned my friend and Senator Moses, who is a very solid leader. And that's why I'm praying that this is not correct.
Okay, but that's part of the COG communication to the Senate earlier in the day, okay.
But I hope that it will be investigated.
Okay, next, Jeff.
Chogo says, ask the CS again if he is really happy that Edwin Sifuna has been fired as the SG of ODM. You've answered that.
Very excited.
You're very excited?
Very excited. I will tell you, in fact, I'm one of the people who have been so depressed when I was seeing what Sifuna was doing for ODM. I am sure Raila Odinga invested his life in ODM not to die and have ODM is Mbaratika immediately. That could not be the legacy of Raila Odinga. You need to sometimes swallow your pride, calm down, for the sake of Raila's party. If you are claiming to respect Raila and you want to destroy his party months after his death, about 5 months, 4 or 5 months, it's not fair to his legacy. I am very excited. Even if he had so many people, I'm told they're saying there were a lot of supporters. Let us see how many supporters are remaining in ODM. Because we also have supporters. Let us remain with our few supporters in ODM, but a solid party.
Okay. All right. Next.
Okay, Mapesa says, what's your definition of democracy? True democracy means people can speak their minds even if it goes against the party line. It seems like you are just supporting everything to align with the government and playing it safe. That's not leadership, that's simping.
You see, there is democracy is the will of the majority and the say of the minority. Okay? The majority will say, but the minority will say, but the majority will have their way. And let me put it this way. When you are holding a party position, there is an extent, you have a responsibility, there is a limit to that democracy. I cannot chair a party and go and speak against what the party as a result out there. That is now not democracy, that is chaos. No party can accept that, even in the world. Whether it is Democratic Party in the US or Republican Party in the US or come to South Africa and see, they cannot accept, there is no party that can accept such kind of chaos. And I think there are people who just want chaos in ODM to thrive and continue. Yeah. And by the way, when you come and you start reading to us message from Uhuru Kenyatta, who is not part of us, where do you meet him? To give you his message to read for us. Where do you meet Uhuru Kenyatta? When you bring people to Busia and they're bringing messages from Rigathi Gachagua, where do you meet them? And you want to still continue as Secretary General of our party? Come on. That is not something that I would support. That's not my party. That's not the ODM that I've chaired for 11 years, where I was in charge of discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me something. How far are you, ODM, to merging with UDA? How far?
Well, it is a discussion. Remember, already the two parties have pronounced themselves that they're getting into formal discussion. That formal discussion has not kicked in because I've not heard the two parties naming their representatives in the dialogue or whatever committee they will call it. So once that happens, we'll get to know how far it is. But I believe they took the first step of consulting the party organs. And the party organs, UDA met and resolved, National Governing Council, ODM, and NEC has met. It will be ratified maybe by NDC, and then we get into formal discussion.
You'd say by June?
Oh, hopefully, yes. Because we also don't have time. You know, we need to organize ourselves for next year's elections.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from the party's former Secretary General, Ababu Namwamba. Ndugu John Mbadi, you cannot rewrite history, Bwana. No one ever fired me from the position of the party's SG. When I couldn't stand the everlasting party shenanigans, I had the audacity, the valor, and the cautions, and the honor to walk away, head held high, with my pride intact. The resultant headlines of that valiant move are indelibly etched in history and cannot be erased by myopic revisionism. What to say, I served with quintessential commitment and departed roho safi, and it is the best decision I have ever made in my public life, one I never have regretted even once. Though proudly a founding visionary of the Orange Dream, I moved on, happily so. Please concentrate your passion and energies on strengthening the party, whose fortunes today are certainly not what they were in 2007, when we waged the most formidable political blitz in Kenya's history, or in 2016, when I boldly walked away in broad daylight. May the MV Orange retrace its original compass and put Kenya's best interests above all else. Strong, well-run parties are the building blocks for a vibrant constitutional democracy. I wish the ODM party well.
Thank you. You know, Ababu Namwamba is my friend. By the way,
it was in response to what?
Yes, it was. No, I think when I said that people thought when Ababu left the party. I also didn't say that when we kicked Ababu out of the party that he was removed from the party. Maybe I don't know whether I used that word. But the truth is this: Ababu is my friend. Ababu was 1 year behind me in campus. We were student leaders with him. And we know what we did during that time. And we came with him to Parliament the same day. And we were in ODM Reloaded, which scared our opponent, Steve. And Ababu was with us. And Ababu became Secretary General the same day I became the chairman of the party. And he left us. But as I trace the history, Ababu should also trace history, what he said when he was leaving. He actually accused me for pushing him out of the party. and I denied it. But I knew there are things we had to do to streamline the party. All right? So he's right that he resigned, but I'm also right that he claimed that we pushed him out. All right? So whatever it is, he left the party. And what I'm saying is that when he was leaving the party, people thought that the party was on its deathbed.
Yeah.
And by the way, generally was a very vibrant member of ODM, and I would wish he comes back to ODM again. So it was not really a contest between me and Ambassador Generali. No, if there's any remarks from me that would suggest that there is some contest, it's not there. It ended, if at all it was there.
Where is he now? Ambassador of where?
Uganda, Kampala, High Commission.
Oh, next door.
Commissioner.
to Kampala,
Okay. Nyantika Chester says, CS John Mbadi and his ilk should be knowledgeable enough to know that a huge chunk of Rao's support base isn't from Luo Nyanza, but other parts of Kenya, example, Western, Coast, etc., etc. And as such, Edwin Sifuna's ouster as ODM party SG will have a lot of political ramifications.
You know, that is what I want to see. I want to see these ramifications. You know, you have to make a decision. In politics, you have to be bold enough to take a decision and live with it. It is true that ODM's base has been not just in Luo Nyanza. It is at the coast, very strong. And that is why even the win at the coast in Margaret was higher than even in Nyanza. And let me tell you, look at the coast arrangement. Who at the coast is saying we should not work in this broad-based government, as Ababu was, as Sifuna was saying? So was he speaking for the coast? Which leader at the coast has said that is following Sifuna? Who followed him even to Busia from the coast? None. Did I see any leader from Masai land who followed him? Where ODM also has very strong support? None. Did I see anybody from Turkana who followed him? None. Did I see anybody from Northeastern where we also have some following? None. So he was only with people who have their own personal interests to serve. Yeah? Who went with him to Busia. Most of them are from the same region. He's saying, I should know ODM is not just for Luo Nyanza. He was just with people like Orengo, he was with Babu Owino, and then he got Matiang'i boys. And then some people who don't know which party they belong to like Karoli Omondi. Those are the people who followed him to Busia. So I don't know where this thing is coming from, of Western Coast, cities. Where are those coast people who followed Sifuna? Coast is solidly in ODM. Look at even the people who attended the meeting in Mombasa. So is Nyantika, you are confused. I think you better understand that Edwin Sifuna may be your hero, but he's not the hero of all of us. And if you think you are many, let's see it. You can start a party tomorrow, and we see how many of you are in that party.
There certainly is no dull day in politics, so the weekend is here. Tell Honorable Mbadi, reaching Canaan through Singapore can't materialize without a professional surveyor on board to navigate the nuanced spherical trigonometry. Covering a third of the circuit around the Earth, they must recruit more surveyors.
We are recruiting more surveyors. Actually, if you look at this National Infrastructure Fund, it is going to be professionally run. We are going to bring in more people with different backgrounds to help us model a financing thing or a financing ship that would help us put in place infrastructure that can take us to Singapore, to Canaan through Singapore. Yes.
Okay, and next, Ababu Nama again.
We got this.
Okay. Aizon Kangi says, is CS Mbadi aware that he is enjoying fruits of broad-based courtesy of Gen Z revolt in 2024?
You know, something that I think Kenyans should also appreciate is that agitation in this country did not start with Gen Z. Some of us were also Gen Z. In 1992, during Moi era, it was even terrible, I will tell you. We fought in the streets of Nairobi. We went to Kamkunji. We slept in the cold with the understanding then that the government was was going to plant bomb for Raila and Matiba. And we slept in the cold without any anti-bullet or whatever, those vests.
No.
I don't know how we were going to protect ourselves against the bomb. So, yes, the Gen Z revolted in 2024, and that is a landmark in this country. But this journey has been long and unwinding, and some of us have made serious contributions also to this movement. And so you cannot just say that I'm enjoying the fruits of road-based courtesy of Gen Z revolt. How did Gen Z pick me from Gwasi and brought me here? I have been in this space. That is why I was identified to be the CS National Treasury. I have many brothers who are at home. Did Gen Z go and did they pick them from the village and brought them to become a CS National Treasury if they wanted Ngongo's son to be the CS National Treasury? It's because I was also in this space and I was already known, and that I have something that I could contribute. Okay. Yeah. So we are working collectively in this. Gen Zs, the elderly, everybody else is here for the betterment of Kenya.
Mbadi is just defending his job. Ask which of the 10-point agenda has been fulfilled 1 month to the expiry, and if Baba said broad-based, it's up to 2027. What's wrong with Sifuna echoing the same? You
see, who would not want to protect his job? You know, Kenyans are really pretenders. We are big pretenders. You want me to come here and say I don't want my job. Then why am I there? Why am I holding that position? Every one of us, Jeff, including yourselves, you are protecting your job here. That's why you are doing a good job by interrogating me. Yeah. If you don't interrogate me properly, you will be removed. You will be sacked.
Correct.
Yes. So all of us protect our jobs, but at the same time, in protecting our jobs, we can serve the people. That's the most important thing. He is asking about the 10-point agenda. Does he even know those 10-point agenda? We are working on devolution to up it up to 450 billion. Yeah? There is inclusivity that we are working on in terms of appointments and all that, and feeling that you are part of the government. You are no longer hearing of people's shares. The appointments may not be so balanced, but still you can see there's some progress to that effect. There is the discussion around how do we actualize Article 43 and 43 of the Constitution, the human rights. Yeah? Those are things that must be discussed. And by the way, there will be no bullet solution to Kenya's problems. People must dialogue. People must sit on the table. The NADCO report is in Parliament for implementation. If it is a position of the Prime Minister, which has been suggested through this 10-point agenda, it can be done in Parliament. It's not something that President Ruto can do in the streets or Mbadi can do in the streets. So I don't know what he's asking. You know, these people have been talking nothing on 10-point agenda. They don't even know them. If this gentleman was here, I hope he's a man. If he was here and you ask him what are those 10-point agenda, he doesn't know. He has no idea. But he's saying, ask Mbadi. Now he has asked me. I've told him many of them are being implemented. Okay. And Rome was not built in a day. They will be implemented. Some may not be implemented immediately. There is a question, one of the issues is compensation for the victims of the police excesses. The matter is stalled in court. How do you expect the government to implement it? I was ready to put budgetary approval for it, allocation for it. It was to be chaired by Makau Mutua. It is the same Kenyans who have stalled it at the court. And then they're saying the 10-point agenda is not being implemented. Sifuna is asking. He's not asking. Sifuna is saying we cannot work with Ruto against what the party has discussed. He's telling us he wants to work with other people. We are telling him, you have not brought it to the party to ratify. Why are you dictating on us? Now, you want one person to dictate to us, and you don't want party organs to dictate to one person. That's not fair.
Engineer Lazaro.
Okay. Honorable Mbadi, there's nothing to be celebrated by the sale of government shares in few remaining state corporations and other parastatals. This is a clear sign of total failure and disaster ahead.
Next. I wish Engineer Lazaro, whom I know very well, understood what we are trying to do. Yeah, I am not saying we are celebrating anything. What I'm saying is that this is a way of raising funds to put in this in National Infrastructure Fund for us to develop our projects going forward.
Maitan says, tell this man, okay, he means Waziri, that without Sifuna and Babu Owino, ODM is dead. What did you mean when you said that the future belongs to the youth?
You know, I like the way his arrogance, he started with the arrogance, and now going forward, it has explained his arrogance. He believes without Sifuna and Babu Owino, ODM is dead. Let us see. We will bury the dead party, and then we will see them with the live party.
Okay.
So, but you cannot continue staying in a party that is dying. You leave, and they let us bury the dead party.
And you can't start a sentence with, tell this man. He's an FCPA, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but you know you can't force people to respect you. Maybe I've not earned his respect. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Gabi says, on the last bench, I referred to CS Mbadi as a flower girl. Kindly allow me to withdraw the statement. This guy is smart, eloquent, hardworking, and focused. Keep delivering, Bwana CS. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gabi. I am actually humbled, but I will still continue working very hard. The one thing that Mbadi will not do is to sugarcoat. I will always say my mind because it makes me lighter. Yes.
Yes, Jeff.
CS Unemployment says, the road to Canaan, or Canaan, through Singapore it is. Sifuna and Babu should have been a little more patient. Orengo is always hurrying, willing to recklessly go on himself. That gains short-term popularity, never power.
You know what is interesting with some of these people? They talk a lot out there, and they come for support from us, or even for county things, like Jim. But anyway, let me leave it there. I just want to say that how I wish Jim realized that he's about 80 now.
Yeah.
We are looking up to him to provide stability in ODM and not to break it. That's why they say, panapokuwa, was it? Panapo? That say in Kiswahili.
Panapo was there.
Panapo wazee
hapaharibiki. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to plead with Jim. He's someone I respect a lot. He should be a man of serious wisdom.
Yeah.
ODM is a party that he should not participate in breaking.
Richard Kimenyi is the general manager of Hemingway's in Kigali.
Thank you.
He's watching you. He says, Mbadi is a good guest. Nice choice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the way from
Thank
Kigali.
you. Thank you, my brother.
Listen, last thoughts, final words on KPC moving forward and the IPO, etc.
My last thought is an appeal to Kenyans that this is a company that we want to democratize. We want to the share ownership to be as inclusive as possible. Let us go out there. To get to buy shares is nowadays very easy. It's unlike those old days, Jeff, when you had to visit a broker, queue on the line, write checks. Now with a phone like this, just star, you know.
It's all digital.
Yes, for 86, you star, then 816, hash, unatuma. Then you get a selection of, you move, and you pay, and you get your shares. Investing in KPC, in my view, would be a smart investment for Kenyans who have some little money out there. And by the way, it's from 900 shillings. And those who have invested the lowest will get all their requests for allocation, will allocate in full.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that we broaden the base and have as many Kenyans as possible invest in KPC. It's a smart thing to do. Look at what international investors are doing, the strategic investors are doing. Look at the professional investors. They are scrambling for this year. They cannot be fools to scramble. And we will end up by taking shares that we would have given to Kenyans and allocating to these people. And then after a few days, months, they start getting premium and getting money from Kenyans.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Good thing, James.
Listen, yes, you have to write that book, you know that.
Yeah, no, my book is coming. You know, I still wanted to give it a bit of time, but looking at it, I think now I have a lot to share with Kenyans, including some people who are pretenders here. I will expose them. Yes, Jeff.
You promise?
I will expose some of these people.
You promise?
Pretenders in the political scene?
Yes.
People who shout that you'd think they're Caesar's wife?
Yeah.
Oh, I will expose them.
Name two.
No, I can't name now. You know, you are already preempting my book. I don't want you to water the value of my book.
Okay.
Yeah, my book must remain valuable.
CS Mbadi, good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jeff.
Really
And thank you,
appreciate
Kenyans, for watching.
it. Absolutely.
Asante.
You know, if it's Wednesday, it's all about those 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL. Did you know that? CS. JKL on the keyboard. Check your keyboard if you don't
Check.
believe me.
Yeah. Okay. I will check. I will check.
Zinafuatana.
Yeah.
Jeff.
And keep tweeting, folks, at Koinange Jeff.
At Ayoba.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Check your keyboard.
I-J-I-J-K.
Yes.
L.
How did that happen with your name?
Ni Mungu tu.
Nimungu. No, I tell you, Nimungu. That's why I told you.
Yeah.
It's God who knows when we'll die.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Ni Mungu.
Yeah. They had killed me last year.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Na Lazaro akafufuka.
Yes. And Jeff, you know what? People hope for your death.
They died.
Watakuacha hapa.
Watakuacha.
Yeah, watakuacha.
Thanks so much for joining us, folks. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Good night. Good luck. God bless Kenya.
Thank you.